EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kicker Chris Boswell has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. Taken in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Monroe. And his first pass is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Monroe completes it to Fan on the right side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels, and picking up some nice yardage.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hardy. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually got to pick up a holding call.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
Well, the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
First carry for Najee Harris. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers,
that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Off-play action. Monroe out to his left. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's another carry for Harris. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Pickett sets up play action. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. And that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Let's go now. Rock on switch. Rock on switch. Ready.
Here's Walker, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw brought in by Austin. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, here's Pickett. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Jordan Brooks able to record his 5th sack of the season. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chase Edmonds hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from drawing level. Boswell good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Off the play fake. Monroe. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. Looking to throw. Monroe. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. He He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
The throw left side to start the drive is complete. Touchdown! Pat Fryermuth. A 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Steelers have moved out in front. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
Walker now at 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off play action. Monroe. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. That play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there. Someone always trying to get to the football.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 46 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Monroe. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Pickett. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Pickett now on first down. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Boswell's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The final shot before break. Monroe flush to his right. And he'll just get rid of it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, and the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Throwing on first down. Monroe. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Monroe. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you. An interception's result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond. Not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your...
Oh, Edmonds has it knocked loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Monroe. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks get a bit closer. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Pickett will look to throw it here. Uses the stiff arm. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a two-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Harris. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Able to find his man, it's Pickens. 12 yards here as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Pickett to throw on first down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We worked a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher if guys trying to get to the football.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Deontay Johnson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, ready?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Off the play fake. Monroe. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 33 yards that time. Off-play action. Monroe. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency, because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has
to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start the drive with Harris. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 64 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. First down, and they go back to Harris. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Running right through him. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone